Hey everybody, it's David here from Tarot Avenue, and I have a cracker of a spread to share with you this week. So, today I am looking at a spread called the Royal Advice Tarot Spread. I always like ones that are a little bit quirky, and this certainly is. I do want to say that I got this spread from Barbara Moore's book, which is called Tarot Spreads Layout and Techniques to Empower Your Tarot Readings. I will put a link to it down below because it's a really great book. There's loads of tarot spreads in there. And if you're looking for something that's a little bit different, it has all the classics, but also has a mix of different spreads as well. So what's really lovely about this spread is it uses the court cards. Now, so many tarot readers really struggle with the court cards, especially when you're a beginner. Part of the reason is, the court cards can have multiple meanings. Can it be an energy within you? Can it be another person? Can it be just an energy in the air? Can it be a timing? Can it be an event? Can it be a zodiac sign? So it can get really confusing. But this spread is a really good way for you to practice and get to know those court cards, get up close and personal with the tarot court cards. So I actually have a little post about the court cards and Myers-Briggs, so all the different personality types. That's another great way to help you get to know the court cards and how you use them. So again, I will link to that one down below as well, so be sure to check that out. But let me talk you through this one. So you'll see it's a simple layout. It's just 4 tarot cards in a row. But what you need to do is go through your deck first and separate the pages, the knights, the queens, and the kings. Put them in 4 separate piles in front of you. Give them a shuffle so you don't know what is coming up. And then you want to draw card number 1 should be a page, card number 2 should be a knight, card number 3 should be a queen, and card number 4 should be a king. So when we're looking at card number 1, the page, it's very much about what you should learn, because the pages there, they're all about like the beginning. They're the first card of the court cards, so they've not quite mastered that skill yet, but they're on that path and they've got the energy, they've got the drive, they've got the ambition. So it really is kind of, that card is telling you what it is that you need to start learning, what it is that you need to embark on, what new beginning should you be focusing on right now. And then we get along to the knights. So the knights, when we think of them, they're getting a bit stronger, they're getting a bit wiser, but they've still got that kind of youthful energy. So they're still moving pretty quickly, maybe with the exception of the Knight of Pentacles. He takes his time a little bit more, but they are kind of about taking action. So we almost think of the page as having that seed of the idea, but then when we get to the Knight, he's all about kind of taking action, moving forward and making something happen. So when we see it in this reading, it's really about what should you do? What action should you take right now? And then when we get along to the Queen, I love the Queens. They're all very nurturing, very maternal energy when it comes to the Queens. Real kind of mother energy there. But then, so in terms of this reading, it's like, what should you nurture? What do you need to take care of? What do you need to kind of, focus on to really help growth for yourself and possibly for others as well? And then we get to the kings. So the kings are like established. They've mastered the craft, if you like. They know what they're doing. So when we get along to the kings, it is more a case of, what should you master? What do you need to take control of right now in your life? So there you go. So as you see, it's really clear, but it could become a bit confusing when you do get to the court cards as well. So what I've done for this, I've pulled 2 different sets of this reading for you, because I thought it'd be good just to show you different examples of how I would interpret it. But what I would always say, go back to intuition. Always go back to your intuition. That's the main thing for you, and that will, when it comes to court cards, that will really help you kind of open up, because they might mean different things on a different day, and that is totally fine. So let's look at the first one there. So what should we learn? I have drawn the Page of Cups. So for me, the Page of Cups is all about intuition. It's about spirituality. It's about, you know, getting in touch with the subconscious. You look at that little fish jumping out the cup, and you know, but there's also something very creative about the Page of Cups. So in terms of what should you learn, I would say it's either something spiritual, something in the heart space. So maybe it's taking on a meditation practice, maybe it's doing more yoga, maybe it's going for walks in nature, maybe it's taking up painting, maybe it's doing stand-up comedy. Whatever could be a kind of creative release for you, but also something that really feels close to the heart, feels warm within the heart, and something that fills your cup, as it were. And then we get through to the knight, and what should we do? So the Knight of Swords, you know, he's, when we think of him, he's in the thought space, it's the logic, but he's all about taking action. So he's about charging ahead. So it would just say to me, because the thing about the Knight of Swords, he doesn't necessarily overthink. He kind of gets an idea and runs with it. So whereas the Page of Cups, you know, water, it can be a bit free flowing, can be like, oh yeah, I want to do something really creative, I want to do something spiritual, it's great. But it's like, it's all very well to have that, but then you have to take that and put it into action as well. So the Knight of Swords is there, and he's there to kind of push you forward and take you through. So and I feel like you know, when you look at this, the Knight of Swords is heading towards the Page of Cups, and I almost feel like he's just going to give you a gentle prod and be like, oh, you've been talking about doing this for a while. I'm saying gentle prod, it's like it might be a bit more than gentle, but he's going to kind of spur you into action and really make that page become something new and take on, you know, make this new journey happen for the page. Then when we get along to the Queen, what should you nurture? So she's very nurturing, the Queen of Pentacles. You know, it would just say, again, there's something very natural about this card. Look at the garden. That pentacle in her hand is almost like a little seed there, you know. She's surrounded by nature. She's in a little clearing there. She's got trees around her. So what should you nurture? It would say to me, it's time to kind of get in amongst nature. I think that's going to help you with this spiritual, heart-led journey as well. I think, you know, walks on the beach, walks in the woods, just getting out, walking, moving, breathing the air. So it really returning to nature is going to be a big plus to help you get ahead in this particular situation. And then what should you master? And then we get the King of Cups. So what a lovely journey, you know. So we've moved through that page who's a little bit naive and not really sure where they go. But then it's like, this is just confirmation. You're on the right track. You know, we're moving through. We've got that King of Cups. He's so like heart-led, but really, you know, the King of Cups himself is very nurturing, and he's a great teacher or a great counselor, but he's really mastered the art of that intuition and all the spiritual side of things. And so somebody who has become very established in that field. So it's like, yes, sometimes, you know, we need the help of the swords, we need the help of the pentacles to keep us grounded, to get to where we need to be, because I feel like if this was just a progression through the cups, we might just not necessarily actually get there. You know, I feel like we needed the help of the others to help us get to where we need to be. So there you go, that is the first one. So let's have a look at the next, because I think it's good to go through this, and I would love to hear your interpretation. So don't be afraid to write in the comments below and about what you've drawn for yourself. I'd love to hear what's happening there. So we get through the page there. What should I learn? And we get the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords for me often comes up when it's about letting go of the past. I feel like the Page of Swords, you know, there's thoughts and logic, so it can be sometimes about letting go of that negative energy. I just always feel the page is going to swing that sword and really kind of let everything go. But there's also, you know, there's a real strength to this card, but you do feel that, you know, they've got this amazing sword, but they haven't quite mastered how to use it yet. So there's still a lesson to be learned. You've got all the tools and all the weapons at your disposal that you need to get to where you need to be, but you just need to learn how to use them properly to take full advantage of the situation. And then we get to the knight. What should you do? So as I was saying, he is a bit of a slower knight. He is a bit more about, he's a bit more careful. He's like about taking his time and making sure that he's getting this right and not just jumping into something for the sake of it. So I feel that the Knight of Pentacles there, it's about, right, so you've got this sword, you've got these new kind of skills or powers or whatever, but you need to just take your time to master it. Don't rush it. I almost feel like martial arts or something like that. You can't become a master overnight. It takes practice, it takes dedication. But it can also say to me, this is saying to me, you need to kind of seek out the right teachers, seek the right mentors, seek the right lessons to help you. Don't just kind of run ahead and try and run before you can walk. Which is interesting because the knights are about taking action, but as I was saying, he is a little bit slower. So I think, but he usually gets great rewards, great results, because he takes his time and gets it right first time. So then we get through to the Queen. What should you nurture? So it's all very well having this kind of being driven by this logic space, the thoughts, having this brand new idea. The page has got this sword which can represent a new idea. But there has to be a softness as well. And I feel like she's coming in just to remind us to self-care. Don't overdo it. There has to be a certain sense of kind of intuition as well. You think of a great swordsman. It's not just about who is this, or going back to martial arts, it's not necessarily about who is the strongest. It's about really developing that intuition as well, and almost being quite spiritual about knowing what your opponent's going to do, knowing how strong they're going to be and what their weaknesses are. So really kind of tapping into that intuition there to help bring that softness, but which will bring extra strength to you as well. And then we get through to what should you master, and we get the King of Wands. So the King of Wands there, he's telling me you've got to kind of find that inner passion as well. So again, we've been talking in the previous reading about doing something you love, but this is also about doing something that you're really passionate about. You want that fire in your belly. So yes, you've got that idea, and we've developed it. The knight there is kind of taking time to make sure that we get things right. The Queen is bringing the intuition and the softness, but this King is all right, we've done all the work now. Now it's time to really kind of bring that forward and do it with passion and start to become a leader in the field. So yeah, so that is the royal advice spread. I would love to hear how you go with it. I'd certainly give it a go, and there's no, just remember with tarot, there's no right or wrong. I do have a little course for you as well. If you're new to tarot, just go to tarotavenue.com/intro. There's a free introduction to tarot reading course there. It's a three-day course, gets 3 videos over 3 days. Really simple. We'll introduce you to all the cards, all the different themes, and even by the end of that, you will be able to do some tarot reading for yourself as well. So go for it. Feel free to join there, and it's been my pleasure to spend time with you, and I will see you very soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.